It is that time once again, people. The World Tournament is back on Dokkan Battle. You know how it works, but how do you get your rank higher? How do you go faster? Today, we will go over some of the best tips and tricks provided by some of the best World Tournament players in the world so that you can clear the rounds faster, earn more points, and go even further beyond. Let's begin. Bring as many AoE units as you can on your team. The more AoE units you have, the more consistent your starting rotations will be. The more AoEs, the less chance of a possible scenario where you have 0 AoE units on any given rotation, which is why it is strongly advised that you have at least 5 AoE units on your core team. That way, if your 6th unit does not perform an AoE attack and the friend unit does not do anything, then you will still have at least 1 character on any given rotation to carry the workload. The best 3 AoE units in the game right now as of October 2024 for World Tournament play: Int Piccolo Jr., STR Piccolo EZA, and LR AGL Nappa and Vegeta EZA. Check the pinned comment down below for an updated list of the best AoE units in future updates. 2 sleeper picks who will make your team even more effective are going to be your SR Jocko and SR Chaozu. Even though the passive says may stun all enemies, they are both programmed to guaranteed stun your opponent fully for 1 turn on first appearance. If turn 1 Jocko appears, everybody's stunned. If turn 2 Chaozu appears, everybody still remains stunned. This has never been fixed in the 9 years of Dokkan, and it will never probably ever be fixed. So why not take advantage of a broken thing? These characters can only be obtained through summons. They are not obtainable through free-to-play story grinding means. If you bring 5 AoE units on the team, you also do not have to worry about filtering out your friend unit. Part of the reason why a lot of people struggle to run through World Tournaments as quickly as others is because they waste time selecting manually what friend unit they want to bring. The friend unit does not add any leader skill. The friend unit does not provide any additional team cost or anything. Your friend unit is essentially dead weight. So if you can completely avoid the need to select and handpick a friend unit, it will make your World Tournament runs that much more optimized. Always give your World Tournament AoE units attack builds and critical builds. Critical is the most important thing that you can give to these characters because dodging is pointless, additionals are pointless. You want to have your singular attack doing the most amount of damage possible. For example, my Int Ma Jr. has an attack and critical focused build with those dual skill orbs that can provide both. If you don't have such skill orbs, prioritize critical and then have the secondary boost come from attack bonuses. The more attacks that you can give for units like this, the more substantial of an attack increase you will see when those AoE effects start to pile up more and more and more. Whenever using Int Piccolo Jr., always put him in slot 2 before activating the active skill. When using Int Piccolo Jr.'s active skill, always target a non-physical unit first. If one of the first 3 characters on the enemy side of the field is a physical target, then select one of the 3 or 4 characters to the rightmost side of the screen that is not a physical character. That way, when your AoE starts to take out opponent after opponent, the power will stockpile more and more, and when it eventually comes back to the physical target, it will be much more powerful than it would have been upon first attack. At the very first target, the Ma Jr.'s active skill is at its weakest. So you want to be retargeting the attack so that the most powerful version of the attack will hit the physical target, thus making it far more likely to take him out in 1 turn. Piccolo Jr.'s active skill also cancels the action of every single enemy once. So after the active skill is fully launched, if an enemy still exists, just know that that 1 attack that they have left is probably going to be canceled. Bring lots of Ghost Ushers. These items are your best friend when doing World Tournament play because it eliminates the enemy's attacks altogether, thus making your runs take less time. You can buy 3 Ghost Ushers for 750,000 Zenny from the Baba Shop. It is quite expensive, but if you can farm more stages of Extreme Z battles and earn more Hercule statues, you can exchange those for more Zenny and thus infinitely farm out Ghost Ushers. Other fantastic support items include Fortune Teller Baba and Pilaf as they eliminate super attacks altogether for any given turn. You also have the Fruit of the Tree of Might, which will give you Ki +3 for all allies for 3 turns. That can be stacked multiple times to overcome any key issues that you might have from units not linking very well together. Orb changing nuking items for any sort of big hit ultra super AoE that you would like to launch with someone like an LR AGL Majin Vegeta. Chilai, Lemo, Dabura Cookie, Monaka's Costume, those types of items will do wonders. In the preliminaries, the enemies cannot launch super attacks. However, their normal attacks can hit incredibly hard, especially on the highest multiplier difficulty. Surefire kill shots are far more important than speed when it comes to your AoE attacks. If an AoE attack hits harder but takes longer to perform, that is still better than a quicker AoE that does not always kill its targets. Always do the World Tournament runs at the 30 times difficulty, even if you possess a weaker team. If you find yourself struggling against these stronger enemies, then bring an SR Jocko or an SR Chaozu on the team. These two units are incredibly broken and will be very reliable on those dangerous type situations. Race against a streamer or a content creator. A great way to practice your pace, a great way to learn how to navigate through the menus at a much quicker rate is to watch how a streamer or a content creator can do their runs at their own speed. If you're able to surpass them by getting used to the flow of the menu navigation, then that will help you tremendously in the long run because you can compound that process by however many times you do the World Tournament throughout the entire weekend. Bringing higher team cost teams will make you fight higher team cost enemies. Beating higher value enemies is what gives you the team cost bonus score. We'll come back to this later on in the video. During the preliminary round, always try to aim for the center of mass. Try to position yourself to a point where you are equidistant from every enemy possible so that they will all be drawn into you. The lowest number goes first. If you choose a 1, you will go first. In the event of a tie, the player goes first. If you choose 6, you will go last unless every other enemy on the board will also choose a 6. You can see what numbers your enemy has to work with. The orange circles next to each enemy's little box on the map shows you what possible roles they're going to have. That can help you make a more informed decision on how you want to go about picking your numbers to operate on the board. Bonus Tenkaichi panels in the preliminaries are not worth the effort. They provide a flat point bonus with 0 multipliers and is not worth the time going out of your way to obtain. If you happen to have one in your path on the way to an opponent, then you can pick it up, but you should not prioritize landing on the bonus Tenkaichi panels. The win multiplier only applies to the tournament winning point bonus that you earn in the final round. The 9 consecutive win streak that gives you a 1.5 multiplier will only give you 7,500 bonus points per win.
But what the hell?
Unfortunately, this point cannot be helped, but it is worth mentioning. The newer your device, the higher processing speed of your device, the faster you will obviously be able to run through the event. If you have an older mobile device that doesn't allow you to run through the event as quickly, it is going to ultimately affect you because you won't be able to do as many runs, but that should go without saying. As I mentioned before, the type of team that you bring dictates the type of enemies that you fight. This is due to a phenomenon known as seed manipulation. Based on a bunch of different criteria, you are able to manipulate the sort of enemies that you fight based on the units that you assemble on your team. As of October 2024, some of the best World Tournament players in the world have tested it out, and the current best team to run is Int Piccolo Jr., STR Piccolo, AGL LR Nappa, AGL LR Majin Vegeta, Tech LR Vegeta, and STR LR Super Saiyan Future Gohan. Check the pinned comment down below because this team build is likely to change down the road if a new seed comes up that is more favorable than this one. But at the moment, this combination of units creates the best possible scenario for winning because it is the most effective combination of AoE units, and it also generates the most favorable matchups currently in the game. Hopefully some of these tips were able to help you guys out. Even if you can just apply 1 or 2 of these points, it will drastically improve your habits over time, and the World Tournament grind will become that much less of a hassle for you. It's still gonna be pretty bad depending on what rank you're going for, but in general, these things will definitely make your life a lot easier. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned, and always remember to grind the World Tournament responsibly.